Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 74 of the TEW 2020 New Japan Pro Wrestling Series here on the channel. It is the Best Super Juniors tournament, the 31st annual Best Super Juniors, as it is going to be 4 blocks, 8 guys per block, competing. As far as the setup is going to be, blocks A and C will have the odd number days, and then blocks B and D will have the even days, if that makes any sense. So it's going to be 14 days, 2 blocks battling it out on each night. And of course, we'll have the semifinals and then the finals. As we're going to have, I think we're going to have a pretty interesting Best Super Juniors because we have so many people. It's going to give a lot of guys some opportunities that probably normally would not get a Best Super Juniors anymore. Just from the way the roster's looking, it's in a unique spot because there's a lot of guys that have been in this Best Super Juniors are obviously world class talents now, but they've kind of elevated out of that junior heavyweight scene. Guys like Hiromu and even Ray Fenix. Even and we have seen really as far as guys being able to elevate out of that junior division. It's a blessing and a curse because obviously when you have a great talent like that leave that division, it's now up to the other guys to step up and fill those shoes, and we haven't had that yet. As far as not at the same level as what we talked about with Hiromu and Ray Fenix and Pac, and all three of those guys are like top 10 talents in the company now, and they're not in this Best Super Junior, so it's going to be difficult. But I think it is exciting though to see Kushida back in the Best Super Juniors. That should be fun. And let's talk about the blocks before we get really rocking and rolling here. So block A, we have Akira Francesco, Alex Shelley, Black Taurus, Bushi, Drew Parker, Jason Lee, Jonathan Gresham, the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, and Shota Umino. So it's kind of funny how this worked out. We have a member of Chaos, we have a member of the Kingdom of Strong Style, member of Dark Order, member of LIJ, member of House of Torture, member of Blast Off, member of United Empire, and a member of Task Force Death. So this is really when these stables are you're really showing how not only deep the roster is, but how kind of each one can intertwine against each other here throughout this tournament. So that should be fun. A very solid block, though. I think that even though the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion is in that block, having guys like Akira Francesco, Alex Shelley, Black Taurus and Bushi, Jason Lee, of course, former Junior Heavyweight Champion, a lot of guys I think could give Jonathan Gresham, a lot of problems in that block, that's for sure. Block B, we have, as a freelancer, making his New Japan Pro Wrestling debut, Akira Tozawa is here. That is a massive gift for us. I love Tozawa. It's kind of a shame what's happened to Tozawa as far as being signed to WWE. He's kind of been put in a position where he's basically a joke and an afterthought. It's a goddamn shame because about a decade ago, he was definitely one of the best juniors in the world, and was not only that, one of the best talents in the world. His matches like against Chris Hero and Kevin Steen and PWG were fantastic. And it just sucks. It sucks that that's kind of what he's been accustomed to. But we're going to try to free those shackles here in this series, and hopefully he'll have a great Best Super Juniors. He's got a pretty good block, though, with him, as far as Clark Connors, Daniel Garcia, of course, of the Dragon's Den, Dante Martin of Flight Club, and of course, Dante Martin. I wish he would work a Best Super Juniors in real life, but never say never, I guess. El Fantasmo, of course, the return of El Fantasmo, a part of the Court of Justice, as that's a big get for him. Obviously, he's worked his ass off at Mexico after being gone for a while, and coming back here, looking to make a big splash in his return of the Best Super Juniors. Fred Yehai of the Foundation, Samurai Del Sol, of course, of Mexablood, and one half the Junior Tag Team Champions, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, and Shun Skywalker, of course, a member of Blast Off. So again, Clark Connors, the LA Dojo scene, and but we have basically another, as far as a different stable for each guy besides Tozawa, of course, being a freelancer. Block C, of Alex Coughlin, Flyer, Fuminori Abe, Hayato Jr. Vegeta, John Silver, Kushida, Lee Moriarty, and Masquerada. So we have, of course, a Mexablood member, United Empire member, Kingdom of Strong Style member, Dark Order member. We have a as far as Flight Club member, of course, the leader of Flight Club, and then a Blast Off member, also Flyer as well, kind of like a freelancer, CMLL guy basically, and Alex Coughlin being an LA Dojo guy. Oh, that's another solid block, like Abe and Kushida, Lee Moriarty, Dorada, Hayato Jr. Fujita, John Silver, and Flyer. All those guys, I think, even Alex Coughlin, I think all those guys could potentially win this block. Like, that kind of shows you how competitive that block is. And Block D, our final block, we have Drew Gulak, Rob Eagles, Roderick Strong, Ryu Lee, SB Kento, Shane Strickland, Taiji Shimori, and Yo. So, again, we have a member of Chaos, member of House of Torture, member of the Foundation, member of LIJ, member of Max of Blood, member of Rushmore, member of House of Black, and then a United Empire member. So again, just shows you how deep the stables are. But again, this is a tough-ass block. You got a lot of... We got, 3 former Junior Heavyweight champions? I think... No, because we didn't give Rob Eagles a Junior Heavyweight title. That's right. But he's had some title shots. But the 3, Ryu Lee, SB Kento, and Taiji Shimori. Roddy, obviously, is fantastic. Drew Gulak, obviously fantastic. That's a fun-ass block, though. There's a lot of talented motherfuckers in that block. That's another one. That's going to be tough to really decide who's going to be the winner of. But yeah, we'll be taking a look at these standings after... See, probably after day 8. We'll be about halfway through each block. I think that makes sense. As we have everything pre-booked, so we can just hop right in to day 1 here. As we got backstage incidents. Let's see what Tamara's doing. I brightened the mood backstage was doing so funny cartoon drawings to some of his colleagues. Hell yeah. Then Tanahashi, passing on psychology to Yuma and Zai, who, and unfortunately for the Young Lions, this would be a great opportunity to be able to work on your craft in this, Best Super Juniors tournament, but obviously, we're pretty jam-packed. Having 2 blocks in one night, it's made to where there's going to be 8 matches on each of these tour shows, which, that's great for the guys, but as far as for the rest of the talent, they're kind of getting the shit into the stick. As looks like we're going to be running the Hiroshima Sun Plaza to start this off. It's not looking great here in Japan. The economy's failing. At least the industry's getting better, but not looking great. So as far as, I would love for a Block A match to main event. I'm not going to lie, since it is the first show. But I don't think that's going to be well, I wouldn't say a possibility. It's just like, I see this Lee Moriarty Fuminori Abe match, and I know that's going to be really, really good. And like Shelly Bushi, I guess, could be, or even Francesco and Gresham could probably be a main event. Let's go with that. Let's go with Gresham and Francesco. So Gresham's going to win 23 minutes. So it's a great win for Jocelyn Gresham, and that's it's a great start for the junior heavyweight champion. He avoids the champion's curse that seems to happen during these round robin tournaments. So Lee Moriarty losing to Fuminori Abe right before the 30-minute mark. That should be a banger matchup, though. Those two guys are pretty much built for each other. Alex Shelley versus Bushi. Going to be a technical masterclass. Bushi beating Alex Shelley. I believe this is the first time he's beaten him. They've had 1 match. It was last year during the Best Super Juniors. That's kind of crazy. They've only had 1 match against each other. But having that be the technical masterclass is certainly a choice. Because I think there's going to be better options to have be a technical masterclass matchup while that match is actually higher up on the card. But we shall see. Because like this Coughlin-Silver match kind of makes me think this could be a technical masterclass matchup. Because, I mean, Coughlin is pretty solid in that regard. And so with John Silver. Yeah, let's have that be the technical masterclass matchup. Which, what a win, though, for Alex Coughlin, first of all. Beating John Silver, 18-minute matchup. Have they had a singles match before? They have. John Silver beat him last year during the Best Super Juniors. But you're seeing those ratings. It's not a great sign, but obviously this is still considered a tour show, so I'm not too nervous about it. But you want to have a great tournament nonetheless. So we got 4 matches left. We'll probably go with this Hayato Jr. Fujita Masako Dorada matchup. As Hayato Jr. Fujita gonna beat Dorada. That's a huge win for Hayato Jr. Fujita. That's the first time meeting, of course. Jason Lee versus Black Taurus. How about that? Black Taurus is gonna beat a former junior heavyweight champion in Jason Lee. Love to see it. Kushida versus Flyer can go here, as Kushida's gonna get the win in 23 minutes. Then Drew Parker versus Shota Umino, and that's a steal of the show matchup with Shota Umino. It's gonna beat Drew Parker. Great win for Shota Umino. We're gonna try. We're gonna try to build him up. We'll see how it plays out. I kind of wish this was a little bit higher because it is Kushida back in the Best Super Juniors, but at the same time, I don't really trust the match created a lot of the other matches on this card. But well, booking now. It's just what's going on? Oh, Justin King's too much. Well, that's Robert King's. There we go. So that would be Taiji Murahama. Perfect. Let's run the first day. 63 for the opener. Not bad at all. Alex Coughlin does outperform him. We gotta give Alex Coughlin a finish. I thought we gave him his finishers. So he needs them. Yeah, we'll definitely be doing that. I figured, yeah, I mean, they didn't have the popularity, so I knew this was going to hurt as far as a little bit, as far as from a rating perspective. But Drew Barker did outperform him, so probably the wrong decision to have him lose here. But we're trying with Shota Umino. We're still trying. We're not giving up on the dream. As Kushida beating Flyer with the Midnight Express, 65 for Kushida, 64 for Flyer. So I got a 68-67 for Black Taurus against Jason Lee, as Jason Lee taking the Infernal Suplex in 20 minutes. Outperformed him, but slightly outperformed him, so it could have went either way. Shout out Black Taurus, though. That's my guy. That is my guy, as Hayato Jr. Fujita beating Mascara Dorada with the Kid. Again, he really severely out. I wouldn't, maybe not severely outperformed, but he did get significantly outperformed. This was a bit of a mild upset for sure. It's a great win, though, for Cheetah, getting 2 points right off the rip. 66 for Bushi and Alex Shelley. Bushi with the Ashi Road. He gets outperformed by Alex Shelley as well. So this has been quite the upset so far in this kind of undercard, mid-card section of the first day. It's a 78, though, for Jason Lee, and Fuminori Abe is a shining wizard for Abe in 29 minutes. You love to see it. That was a solid matchup, though. Yep, probably should have been the main, but hey, Jonathan Gresham, though, he did his thing, though, with a 74. Francesco, though, with a 55. Not a great rating for him. It's a 630 for Jonathan Gresham, picking up the win and main eventing day one and having a successful win with those 2 points. Not a bad show. Obviously, it's not going to be on the same level as like a G1, which, makes sense. We want to have that G1 be as big as possible, but, we also want to get back to kind of the golden years of the best juniors when we were having some of the best junior heavyweights in the world, because obviously most of them have now elevated out of the junior heavyweight status, but it's just, we're in a unique time. We're in a unique time period right now for our junior division. I think it's, I wouldn't say it's growing, but it's kind of, it's going through a unique transition phase, I'll say, is what it's going through. But, I think there's still faith. There's still some great talent in there, like Gresham and Abe obviously had a really good performance, and hopefully, we see what blocks B and D do here for day 2. Hopefully we get a better show, and we get some better performances from the guys. We'll see. Alrighty, night 2, as we got some more backstage incidents, as Sonata was he brightened the mood backstage, simply being so cheerful and fun to be around, so that's nice. See what Tozawa did. Also, he was in fine form for the show, keeping everyone in a great mood with his hilarious short stories. Create a relaxed atmosphere. Tanahashi passing on psychology to Yuma Zai, and then Satoshi Kojima passing on microphone work to Yata Tamura. Now we also have 2 new signings, as from the dojo. Awesome that we finally get dojo people. As the first one is, where's he? There he is. Kazushi Kadura. As we kind of changed his name a little bit to make sure it makes a little bit more sense to you, especially because there's just there's not a Kazushi on the roster, and in Katsuyoshi Kadura, it sounds a little too close like Katsura Shibata, and I don't want to, as far as I want to give him at least a chance to do something, but he's actually got good stats as far as the star quality is an 86. That's pretty crazy. Obviously, he's going to start off pretty bare bones, obviously. And the other one is Akuya Miyagi, as he has not so good stats compared to Kazushi Kadura, but as far as they're both basically the same, about 5'10", 5'9", both around 190, which makes sense because that's kind of what a young lion would be weighing at. He wouldn't be like over like 300 pounds unless it's like Katsuya Kitamura, but even then, obviously, that he's the exception. So that's fun that they're actually like actual young lion like size people. So that's cool. We'll see how they do. As far as the sky's the limit for them. I usually never play as reach-ins, mainly because I like to feel like usually it takes me out of the, I would say, the realism of it, as far as getting it, like it takes me away from like, oh, this is, we're now playing, in a fantasy world. Not like it, obviously there's already some fantasy shit going on with this save, but really, with this, because it's in 2024, I mean, technically, it's like, well, maybe there are 2 fucking dojo kids that graduate and their names are Kazushi Kadura and Akuya Miyagi. Maybe. Just fucking maybe. Who knows? But yeah, that's it's just a little fun little. We got new young lions, so that's fun. So the main event for this show. It's a good question. I like that Ryu Lee Drew Gulak matchup. Ishimori Robbie Eagles makes a lot of sense too. I think we're gonna go with Akira Tozawa and Samurai Del Sol, though. Tozawa's debut have to be the main event. He's gonna beat Samurai Del Sol too. That's a major win. Then we'll have Ishimori versus Eagles. Robbie Eagles gonna beat Taiji Ishimori. That's a big win. Little House of Black, House of Torture matchup. They will now be 2-2 as far as in singles matches. They have faced off against each other in every single Best Super Junior so far. Oh, actually, besides the last year's Best Super Junior. So they have faced off in 3 out of the 4 that we have done so far. And they've only gotten slightly better from a years apart. But maybe this match will be good. Who knows? You never know. Maybe they'll click. Then we'll have Ryu Lee, Drew Gulak. So Ryu Lee's going to get the win. Let's put slow build on this. Nice win for Ryu Lee. That's a fun match, though. It sucks that Drew Gulak is not over enough yet for some reason, but I think he will after this tournament. I think it's going to help him out a lot. Then the next matchup. Honestly, that Clark Connors Dante matchup is pretty fun, because Dante Martin is pretty solid in this. Same thing with Clark Connors, and Dante's going to get the win with the Steal the Show matchup. We'll go El Phantasmo against Shun Skywalker here. Is Shun Skywalker going to beat El Phantasmo? That's a great win for Shun Skywalker. Obviously, first time meeting there is Roderick Strong and Yo. Yo's going to beat Roddy, or Roddy's going to beat Yo, rather. The SB Kento, Shane Strickland. SB Kento's going to beat Shane Strickland. That's a tough break for Shane, but he is a junior heavyweight champion. And SB Kento. Then Daniel Garcia and Fred Yehi, which I love this matchup. I wish this would happen in real life, because I think they stylistically match up very well. But technical masterclass matchup, Daniel Garcia is going to beat Fred Yehi. This is a tough one, because I really wanted to give it to Yehi, but he has beaten him once before. I know this was literally at like the start of the save back in July of 2020. That might have been like one of the first ever Strong tapings, to be honest. We could have probably had Yehi beat him here, but I actually think Garcia might outperform him too, so we'll see if that is in fact true. I'm a little nervous about this matchup, because I think El Phantasmo is considered unimportant. I want to double check that. He is. I'm glad I double checked that. So we are going to bump that way down. That's going about here. Alright. We probably got to change a ref. It's always a ref. Seems like so Davey has to get changed. I'll change the red shoes. Obviously. Make sure we pick a venue. Looks like it is at the Professional Sports Center for this one. And, yeah, I mean, it's a solid matchup. Both guys with 59s here. Dragon Sleeper for Daniel Garcia. 2019, not bad. Not bad for a tour show rating. Yep, it's a 49. It's a tough break, because El Phantasmo and Shun Skywalker, they had actually a pretty good matchup. But Shun Skywalker Moonsault in 1537. Not bad. Not bad. Just it would have been in the 50s. Maybe even the 60s even. Low 60s, high 50s. Tough break, but 2 points for Shun Skywalker. SB Kento and Shane Strickland. Tough break for Shane Strickland, but they do have great chemistry, the two. It's the TKO flatliner for SB Kento over Shane Strickland in 1735, junior heavyweight champion. The former junior heavyweight champion getting the win in that matchup. So that's a solid little match, though. It just sucks, again. Not really over enough. Roderick Strong, though, beating Yo with the half Nelson backbreaker. Way to go, Roddy. It has 64 for Roddy, 52 for Yo. Poor Yo. He's still just drizzling shits in this. Springboard cutter for Dante Martin over Clark Connors in 11:42. Great win for Dante. 69 for Ryu Lee and Drew Gulak. Ryu Lee getting the win in 22 minutes. Great win. There, and again, great performance for Drew Gulak for a guy that pretty much since his debut has been pretty fantastic for us. He just is not over enough, unfortunately for him. As Taiji Ishimori losing to Robbie Eagles, the War 4-5 for Robbie Eagles in 25 minutes. Great little matchup here. Wish it was a little bit better, but we'll take the 71 and the 70 for the main event. It was Tozawa beating Samurai Del Sol with a German suplex. You might think, oh, that German suplex, that's kind of like a shit finish. Tozawa's got one of the best bridging German suplexes in wrestling today, and I'm fine with that being the finish. He's fucking awesome. It's a good performance, though, from Tozawa. Great performance from Samurai Del Sol, too. It's a tough debut. Tough debut for Samurai Del Sol to face up against Tozawa like that, because normally I would say, he should definitely get these 2 points, but it's, Tozawa on his debut. he's got to win type of thing. But yeah, 69 rating. Nice, but not so nice as far as in the actual grand scheme of things. But yeah, it seems like Block A and C, at least they had the better first show. But I think there's a lot of potential good pairings here. Like Samurai Del Sol and Ryu Lee having, well, actually they're not going to be in the same block, but they will have, as far as better performances, I think, against other or other people rather, and they'll have, better main events potentially there. And yeah, first 2 days in the books. It's on to day 3. Alrighty, now day 3 as we will be having for our main event. I mean, it's always a safe bet to have Gresham be in the main. So that's probably what we'll do here as well. Actually, no, because Kushida and Abe is on this card, and Kushida's going to beat Fuminori Abe. That's a great main event. I'm cool with that, and that should be a hell of a match, barring chemistry issues. I don't know why I clicked on Mascara Dorada and Flyer, but fun match though, and Dorada's going to get the win in 20 minutes. Here's the match I wanted to click on. Gresham and Bushi is Jonathan Gresham, 2 straight wins for him. The junior champion rolling right along in Block A. He is looking pretty sharp. Then we'll have, probably Jason Lee and Alex Shelley. Alex Shelley's going to beat Jason Lee. That's a fun match, though. They've had one match before. I thought they had another one. Oh, they did. Yes. Oh, they've had 3. Alex Shelley, when he won the junior heavyweight title, then defending it successfully back in King of Pro Wrestling 2022. So he'll be 3-1 against Jason Lee. That's a great win, though, for Alex Shelley. He should outperform him. That's awesome to see a junior heavyweight title matchup, though. A rematch on this card. It's cool to see. John Silver, Lee Moriarty. As Lee Moriarty beating John Silver. It's a great win. As they have never had a singles match before either, which is pretty crazy since they've basically been there since day one. Haven't had a strong matchup or anything like that. So we'll see how that goes. Hayato Jr. Fujita and Alex Coughlin. Coughlin's going to beat Hayato Jr. Fujita. So that's 2 straight victories. That is pretty fucking massive, to say the least. Akira Francesco and Drew Parker will be the technical match class matchup, as that will be a win for Drew Parker. And then Shota Umino versus Black Taurus, which Black Taurus will be beating Shota Umino. That's a steal the show matchup. So let's pick the venue. Let's see what we got. So I think we will go away from Kanto. I think we're going to go with the... Yeah, we've got the Dream Me's. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to go with. Because, I mean, we won't sell at the Sunday Sun Plaza, and that'll probably be our best bet, yeah. Well, I guess we can run the Akita Gate Arena as well. Yeah, let's run there. We haven't ran there in a long time. For day 3, should be a banger, though. I mean, it's a pretty solid show. I think it's going to be better than the day 1 show. Well, that opener fucking sucked. Yet 2 guys with not as far as rated as they're not important, so hurt the match. But Drew Parker and at least Akira Francesco, they did pretty well in this matchup as far as 50s and 53s. Drew Parker, though, with 2 points. He had the one, the flying foot stomp. Tough break for Akira Francesco, though. Starting off 0 for 2. Shota Umino losing the Black Taurus. Black Taurus with his second straight win. 4 points for him as he gets the one with the Infernal Suplex in 10 minutes. And Hayato Jr. Fujita beating Alex Coughlin. I forgot to add the fucking Alex Coughlin finishers to him, as I had to basically make those pictures for the new Young Lions, and that kind of derailed what I was going to do. But yes, that is the plan, to add Coughlin's finishers. Jesus Christ. As Lee Moriarty beating John Silver to joint custody. Pretty close, though. 65-62. Not a bad matchup at all. 71. Solid first time meeting, for sure. 72 for Dorada and Flyer. As Dorada with the corkscrew somersault senton bomb. Yeah, I mean, obviously 2 luchadors battling it out. But, we know Grand Malik, a.k.a. Mascara Dorada, is quite the talent. And he delivers in that matchup. 73 for Jason Lee and Alex Shelley. Shelley the Border City Stretch. Nice to see this match does pretty well still. Not bad at all. First 2 points for Alex Shelley. Then Bushi with a grade 1 AC joint separation. That is not good. Jonathan Gresham's going to get the win, but at what cost? As, what a terrible main event because of the injury. Oh, that's not even the main event. I completely forgot this is the main. As Kushida beating Fuminori Abe with a Supernova Press. What a win for Kushida, first of all. But Fuminori Abe, what a performance. A 76. That man is fantastic. As what a match, though. What a match. That'll probably be one of the best matches of the entire tournament. That's probably going to be one of the best shows of the entire tournament. We'll gladly take that. We'll take that show 9 times out of 10. That's a beautiful Budokan. Oh, what a fucking venue. As yeah, on to day 4. We got. All right, well, Bushi's going to tough it out, so he's not going to be withdrawing from the tournament. He's going to keep on trucking. But goddamn, that is going to be tough. That is for sure. As for our main event here for day 4, seeing some good matches. Probably that Ryu Lee Robbie Eagles matchup. That'll probably be a good shout to be the main. We want to stay away from Kanto as long as we can. Yeah, so we'll run the Amino Value Hall for this show. We'll be close to a sellout, but we'll be a little shy of that. But yeah, Ryu Lee Robbie Eagles, I think that's a solid main event. Going 26 minutes. Robbie Eagles is going to get the win, though. That's massive, first of all, because Robbie Eagles has lost every single time they face up against each other in the Best Super Juniors. He finally beats him here. That's a great win, first of all. I'm hoping for a 70 plus, or maybe not 70 plus, low 70s matchup between these two guys. Riley's a little unhappy. Yeah, we'll keep it going. We'll just buy him off. We got the money for it. As yeah, the co-main, I really want that Roger Strong SB Kento matchup to be it, but I don't think that's the right play. Probably Samurai Del Sol on Dante Martin, because that match would rule. And Samurai Del Sol gets the win, though, beating Dante Martin there. Tozawa versus El Fantasmo. This is a solid matchup, too, as Tozawa, second straight win over El Fantasmo. As that could also be the co-main, though. Yeah, we'll keep it as such, though. Shane Strickland, Taiji Shimori. Be a good matchup for Shane Strickland here. Tough break, though. Strickland being 0 for 2 to start it off. But Ishimori with 23-minute matchup victory over Shane Strickland. Not bad at all. Roddy over SB Kenta. We'll finally add that here, as Roddy's going to beat the former junior heavyweight champion. It's a good win for Roddy. He's obviously been pretty fantastic as of late. Deserves that win. Shun Skywalker against Daniel Garcia. Garcia's going to beat Shun Skywalker. That'd be 2 straight wins for Shun Skywalker. Now, I don't know what's going to be the technical masterclass match. If it's going to be Gulak and Yo, it will not be, and Yo's going to be Gulak. That pains me so bad, but Yo needs a win desperately. And then Yehai against Clark Connors, which, what a win for Clark Connors, first of all. Major victory, beating Fred Yehai like that. And, of course, we're going to change the ref. I'm just going to guess it's the main event ref, because that's usually how it goes. We'll go with Daichi Murahama. Okay. Not the main event ref. Marty Asami. Okay, something's going up here. As, oh, it's Nakamura with the road agenting. Okay. Oh, well, we knew he was going to be the main event, though, so at least we got that. There we go. Alright, so, I mean, some solid matchups, though, for sure. And some solid victories. You know, Robbie Eagles beating Ryu Lee is massive. Massive victory on day 2. Well, that's not good, as Clark Connors has his C7 vertebrae there get compression on that, so that is not good. Yeah, had to call an audible there. I don't know how you even finish the goddamn match. He's going to be out for the tournament, so there is that. Jesus Christ, as what a, I mean, terrible way to, I don't know how we're going to continue with the show. I mean, that man is going to be in serious pain. And Yo beats Drew Gulak, though, with the super kick. I don't know why. We also got to give Yo a super kick as well. That's been like that since the beginning. Gulak outperformed him. We figured so going into that matchup, which made that match a little tough to swallow. But solid. The performance from both guys is just not over enough, unfortunately. There we go. 66 here from Garcia and Shun Skywalker. They have great chemistry, so that works out well. Garcia with the Dragon Sleeper, though, in 13:53. Not a bad match at all. Not bad at all. Trying to get us back on track here. Roddy with the Gibson driver over SB Kento. Is Roddy getting a win? That's nice. That's 2 straight wins for Roddy, though. Not bad at all. Ishimori beating Shane Strickland there in 22:39. Yeah, nice little 71. Shane Strickland getting better. 62, oof, for El Fantasma and Akira Tozawa. Tozawa dropping down a little bit. Kind of curious to see how he's doing. Just declining physically already. Just great. Just great. 67 for Samurai Del Sol and Dante Martin as the Del Sol driver for Samurai Del Sol over Dante Martin. Not a bad little co-main. Thank God the main event delivers, though, as Ryu Lee losing to Robbie Eagles. What an upset. And what a win for Robbie Eagles with the pulse drop. So happens overlooking Robbie Eagles. Ryu Lee there. So that was a 79. So that was a very good main event. If this was the co-main instead of Del Sol and Dante Martin, might have been a better show. but we'll take the 75. We'll take it. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. Well, Clark Connor's matches are going to be definitely forfeited. So there is that. I mean, maybe Carl Fredericks might be able. I don't know size-wise if he is small enough to be in the best Super Juniors, but with so many more matches left in the tournament, I kind of want someone to fill his spot. So there is potential there as far as for Fredericks to fill that spot. We'll see though, because I'm assuming he's going to be out for at least a year. Alrighty, as day 5 here, as a little update on the Clark Connor situation. So, yeah, he would have been out for a year and about probably another month or so on top of that. But his surgery actually went well. And so well, in fact, that he's going to be back in about 3 months, which is pretty nuts. But yeah, he's definitely going to be out of the tournament, but we do have a replacement, which we'll talk about on day 6, obviously. As day 5, we do have a backstage incident before we get into the show. Crazy Jonathan Gresham at right FedEx was only an 81. So I guess it's not really been that different compared to last year. I think the actual shows in itself. I don't know why I thought Roderick Strong made his debut as far as before, or not rather, before after the Best Super Juniors. But yeah, I think that's pretty much when he actually had his debut. But Satoshi Kojima passing on tips on microphone work to Heihachi Tamura here. Main event though. Yeah, I mean, probably Alex Shelley, Jonathan Gresham. That makes sense. And that's going to be a draw. First draw of the Best Super Junior so far. And yeah, I think that's the perfect match to be a draw. Let them have more than 30 type of thing, as far as if you want to see that again. As then the co-main, probably, Wrestle Kingdom rematch here between Dorada and Kushida. And Dorada's going to beat him this time around. 27 minutes that match will be going. And that should be a fun match, though, obviously. They worked really well in the Wrestle Kingdom matchup. Should work well here, as Abe's going to beat John Silver. Want to make sure that is on the side. There we go. But yeah, that's a solid matchup, though. John Silver's the man. Abe's the man. Should be a fun match. Then we'll have, we're getting into the nitty-gritty here. There, Lee Moriarty had a Junior Vegeta's a fun match. Okay, so Techno Masterclass matchups will be the opener, but what a win for Lee Moriarty. That is massive. Then we'll go with, I kind of want to see Black Taurus and Akira Francesco, I'm not going to lie. That match will go here, and if Francesco's finally going to get a win in this Best Super Juniors beating Black Taurus. I'm sure they have faced off once or twice before. Yes, twice. And once at the Best Super Juniors, once on the Strong taping. Both were 43s. I guess it's not going to matter. As, it's fun. I completely forgot they worked Big Japan at one point in the mod. That's funny. It's Tongaloa, Black Taurus, Akira Francesco. What a 6-man. But yeah, Francesco finally gets a win, though, so that's nice to see. Alex Coughlin versus Flyer finally gave Alex Coughlin his finishers. He's got his the deadlift German suplex that he does, but also gave him a different submission instead of the figure 4, because figure 4 is kind of lame. Maybe not lame is probably the correct term, but gave him the STF instead, which I was a little nervous about, because obviously that's Masahiro Chono's finish, and I know Chono's obviously not like an active member of the roster or anything, but that's still. I mean, not a lot of people are busting out that STF because it's out of respect for Masahiro Chono. But I think you can get away with it. I think with a Gaijin doing, I think it's perfectly fine. I don't think it's because I thought it was either going to be that or the crossface, and just the STF in itself, I think is a better move. So just went with that. But Flyer's going to get the win though in 18 minutes. So let's bump that up. Obviously, Drew Parker versus Bushi. Bushi's going to beat Drew Parker there. That makes sense. Drew Parker's just not at that level, even though he's beaten Bushi before. They're 1-1 going into this matchup. Completely forgot they had a G1 match. Well, not a G1 match, but a match at the G1, rather. As Bushi's going to get the win, though, to break the streak. And then Jason Lee showed to him, and I guess not break the streak, break the trilogy. I'm all over the place. Yeah, Jason Lee obviously going to be the better guy. So that just kind of makes sense from that perspective. But I showed to you, at least he's gotten a win so far in this tournament. So let's see. Is it going to be a ref or is it going to be a road agent? We'll try ref first, but just in case it is a road agent. Alright, well, it was a road agent. what are the odds it's Liger again? So let's just have that be Yamasaki. Alright, so let's just see. Okay, it is red shoes. I figured so. Is that the Davy instead? Jesus Christ. Oh, it's still red shoes. Wow. So he is got quite the schedule. There we go. We didn't pick a venue though, so let's go ahead and do that. I mean, we could run the Dreamies here, and I don't think it'd be that big of a deal, since it will be a sellout. Even though Blockade just ran here, but it is what it is. A little return matchup is not too bad, or a return show. It's not the worst thing in the world, but joint custody for Lee Moriarty getting the win in 20 minutes. Not a bad little opener. Not bad. Lee Moriarty outperformed him. It's nice. Jason Lee pinning Shotimo after the Sunset Flip Powerbomb. It's a great win for Jason Lee. So I got a 60. As Ibushi's working through that injury, unfortunately. He gets the win, and he gets outperformed, but it's a solid effort for somebody that's that banged up. Which I believe he's going to be hurt for the rest of the tournament, which sucks, but at least he's still in it, though. Flyer beating Alex Coughlin with a 450 splash. Great win for Flyer there. 63-62, not a bad performance at all from both guys. Some solid stuff. Black Torso and Akira Francesco had pretty good chemistry here. The Akira assault from Akira Francesco over Black Torso, 19 minutes. Not bad at all. 75 for Fuminara Abe and John Silver. There's a figure 4 leg lock. That's also another reason why I wanted to change Coughlin's finishers, because, you know, Abe's already got the figure 4. As, yeah, but it's a solid matchup there. You know, I would say Abe has been one of the MVPs of the tournament so far. It's been fantastic. Kushida losing to Mascara Dorada, as the Corkscrew Somersault Senton Bomb from Dorada over Kushida, getting that win back after losing them at the big stage of Wrestle Kingdom, but he beats him here at the Best Super Juniors, so it's not all bad. And then the time limit draws a 79. Needs more than 30. Decide who's going to be the winner between these two technical wizards in Alex Shelley and Jonathan Gresham. Fun match, though. Fun match. Anytime we get to do this match, because I could just envision it being a good matchup, because it's just stylistically, they match up so well. As, yeah, solid show. Solid little show there. 77, 79 main event. Not bad at all. As we're almost at the halfway point, just like that. You know, obviously with the way the schedule is laid out, it makes for things to be a lot easier for us. But, yeah, just, we just gotta hope for nobody else getting injured, because we already had some pretty grueling injuries so far, just early on in the tournament, so that'd be great if we don't have any more injuries. And hopefully this, you know, blocks B and D have a solid little showing here. Alrighty, as day 6 and the replacement for Clark Connors is Rin Narita, the son of Strong Style, as this was basically announced on the Strong taping that happened back this week during Wednesday, as just feel like it was a great call to do that, you know, as far as having a combination of, you know, Clark Connors showing like the injury and the video package of that, and just saying, you know, oh, he's gonna be back, you know, type of babyface, you know, typical kind of injury, you know, promo as far as, you know, there, you know, after surgery type of thing. And just saying, you know, as far as he'll be back, he'll be better than ever, but also, you know, giving the opportunity to have Katsuro Shibata make that announcement as far as seeing one of his LA Dojo boys go down. Well, it makes sense. Another one that is able to take his place type of thing. And picking Rin Narita, because, you know, he's obviously the one that fits it the most. So that's going to be fun to see what Narita does. Also, we gave Narita his finishers, so that's another plus to help get him in the right direction. Backstage instance, though, is, let's see, Taguchi left the locker room when he organized and won a video game tournament. Way to go, Taguchi and Kushida. Fucking set up a waffle bar for everyone. Wait, the boys are at it again. What a fire backstage instance those were. That was awesome. So the main event will be Taiji Ishimori and Roderick Strong. Hell of a matchup here, as Ishimori's going to beat Roderick Strong. This never happened before. It's a first time meeting. Bit of a roll of the dice whenever that happens, though, sometimes, as far as, because you never know what you're going to get. As far as, it might be negative chemistry, might be positive chemistry, really have no idea. But that should be a fire match, though. If all goes well, type of thing. Honestly, it depends on what this Garcia Akira Tozawa matchup is. Okay, so it's a regular matchup. Tozawa gonna get another win here over somebody, as he's gonna beat Daniel Garcia here. But it is 3 straight wins in a row for the freelancer, who is picking up win after win after win. He has been fantastic so far, even though declining physically. And then the El Phantasmo Dante Martin matchup. El Phantasmo getting the win. This was a tough pill to swallow, because I really wanted to give Dante this win. But El Phantasmo has done really well in this tournament, so I have to give him at least some big wins throughout this tournament, and felt like this was the time to do it. We'll have Ryu Lee and Yo. Ryu Lee's going to beat Yo in 20. Yeah, then Robbie Eagles, Shane Strickland. This can go here. Robbie Eagles going to get the win. 24 minutes, a lot of long set matches so far. Then Ren Narita versus Samurai Del Sol. How about that? Ren Narita gets to beat Samurai Del Sol. Combination of, because it's a fresh opponent, as far as, like, Samurai Del Sol not kind of was kind of prepared for Clark Ronson. You get Ren Narita. It's a whole, another change of the dynamic there. But also, I think this would be a great win for him to help boost him up. Yep, figured that was going to happen. That's alright. So yeah, and Shun Skywalker is probably the steal of the show matchup. It is. Fred Yai going to get the win in 13 minutes. That's a great win for Fred Yai, first of all. Then SB Kento, Drew Gulak, which will be the technical mass class matchup. And Drew Gulak's going to beat the former junior heavyweight champion, so another big win for somebody. That's going to probably suck, though, unfortunately, because of both guys are not considered important enough. So that sucks. But again, we have to change the refs. So we'll go with Marty Azami. Go with Chono, in case it's a road agent too. Okay, so not sure what it was, but it was something. Yeah, I think the walking out professional gym's a good call for this day 6 show. And we'll run and see. Yeah, that sucks, because Gulak with a 62-55 for SB Kento. This has been a hell of a match. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But the spine splitter for Drew Gulak in 18-15. It's a hell of a match, though. We'd love to see this again when they're over enough for this to happen. But that's a solid match, though. Solid matchup there. 61 for Yai and Shun Skywalker. Koji Clutch for Fred Yai in 13 minutes. Not bad at all. 63 for Samurai Del Sol and Ren Narita. As the Narita special number 1, which is that little judo throw he does. Which I do love that as a finish. I know that's kind of maybe not as much as like an impactful finishing move compared to some of the other guys, but he does make it look cool, and it's a judo throw. So I mean, it is, it's a shoot hold. As far as it could actually like take somebody down. So I'm cool with that. Being way out, because he's got like 4 of them, and I only added 3 of them. I didn't add the airplane spin, because, well, for Christ's sakes, it's the airplane spin. It's 2023. You can't be having that as your finisher. So I won't allow it. Balls drop from Robbie Eagles over Shane Strickland in 24 minutes. Solid matchup there. Robbie Eagles, doing a good job there. But Shane Strickland, I just can't figure him out. There's times I feel like he's performing well, and there's other times I feel like he's slipping down the card. It's strange. But, yeah, I mean, Yo and Ryu Lee, they have awkward chemistry here, so it doesn't work out completely as well as I would have hoped. I'm glad we didn't put this as high on the card as we probably should have because of that. But Ryu Lee getting the window nonetheless in 20 minutes. He's had a solid tournament, though, obviously, in Ryu Lee. He's been fantastic. Sal Fantasmo beating Dante Martin with the greens from Camwood Park. 60s for both guys. Could have went either way. So that at least makes me feel a little bit better about my decision. But yeah, solid little matchup. Can't really beat 2 guys with 60s there. And then Daniel Garcia and Akira Tozawa, hey, they have great chemistry. How about that? As Akira Tozawa with a German suplex over Daniel Garcia. He does get outperformed. It's a tough break that Tozawa is already going backwards since he started. But, it's just kind of the roll of the dice there. Who knew he was going to be declining physically? I think he's not even in his 40s at this time. But yeah, that's solid main event, though, between Taiji Shimori and Roderick Strong. Taiji Shimori getting the win in 24 minutes. Obviously, because of his size, he's going to be a junior division lifer, unfortunately for Ishimori, but at least we're able to give him some fresh matches here, like against Roderick Strong, which this match would be pretty sick if it happened in real life. But yeah, solid matchup, though. Solid little matchup there. Yeah, day 5 is definitely better, for sure, and we struggled a little bit. I think it was just mainly because of the opener, because it didn't get to show off the strong start that we wanted it to. Kind of derailed some of the momentum for the show, but I'm happy with the performance. It just, it is what it is. Just kind of got fucked over there. But yeah, now we'll run day 7. After day 8, we'll take a look at the standings and see we're at the exact halfway point of the tournament. So far, again, been pretty pleased with some of the performances. Been kind of disappointed in some others, and just as long as there's no injuries from this point onward, we should be pretty good. Let's see what the backstage incidents are for day 7. Again, Satoshi Kojima passing on tips on microphone work to Hayato Tamura, and Shibata doing the same thing to SB Kento. Nice. So the main event for this show, kind of like that John Silver Kushida matchup. Abe and Hayato Jr. Fujita rules too, but I'm gonna go with the Silver Kushida matchup. John Silver's gonna beat Kushida, so that's back-to-back losses for Kushida. That's a tough break there. That's a hell of a win for John Silver in the main event. That's for sure. Hayato Jr. Fujita, though, losing to Fuminori Abe. And it's a 22-minute matchup, though. Probably could have gave that a little bit more time. Let's give it 25 minutes. Yeah, but yeah, Abe getting the win, who's been impressive in this tournament, for sure. Bushi versus Black Taurus. Love this matchup. Bushi's going to beat him, though. They have had a couple of matches. Black Taurus have beaten them every time. They had the first time was at the Best Super Juniors of our first go-around. That god-awful tournament. And then Black Taurus beating him again the next year. So yeah, it's been a long time coming, though. 3 years in the making since they've had a last matchup. But yeah, Bushi, I think, deserves that win. For sure. Flyer Lee Moriarty. I think that's going to be a good matchup there. Lee Moriarty's going to get the win, though. It's been super impressive. That United Empire, I mean, it just so deep with talent. A lot of talented motherfuckers, and they just keep on busting out some great junior heavyweight talent. Jason Lee going to be beating Akira Francesco here in 24 minutes. I thought about it. Giving it to Francesco, but yeah, Jason Lee, I think, is going to do better in that matchup, so that's why I gave him the win. Coughlin versus Dorada. And Dorada's going to get the win. Poor tough break there for Coughlin. Shelley versus Shota Umino. Let's see if this is going to be Steal the Show Technical Masterclass. I figured it was going to be Steal the Show. What an upset, though, for Shota Umino beating Alex Shelley out of nowhere. Fuck yeah. As Gresham beating Drew Parker, though, to kick off the show. Technical Masterclass matchup. We'll see how that plays out, though. I think that could be a solid little Technical Masterclass matchup, obviously, because obviously Gresham's going to do well, but I also think that can kind of play into Drew Parker's strengths, because he's kind of a sneaky technical guy. Because obviously everyone just thinks of the Big Japan, like, deathmatch stuff, and he does more than that. That is for sure. I don't want to run Corkin. At least, not yet. So I think we're going to go with the Nagoya Congress Center. Fun fact, though. We, see if we can show it here. Damn, I don't think we can. But yeah, we spent the last of our investment money into New Japan World. As far as with in Japan, we have maxed it out, which is pretty impressive that we finally have maxed it out. I guess we could look at this coverage. Yeah, enormous. In Japan. Hell yeah. I'm not sure we're going to go with next, because I think Mexico and the UK, maybe Mexico and Europe, is kind of the cheapest ones next, so we'll probably go with one of those two. Probably Mexico, since we run there a little bit more. But yeah, I think for what we're going to have on this show, I think we're pretty locked in, though. As I wanted to just double check. I was like, are we mixing anything? No, we're good to go. We're ready to go. Let's run it. See how day 7 goes. Solid opener. Yeah, Jonathan Gresham with a spike driver over Drew Parker in 1738. Not bad at all. 66 for Alex Shelley and Shota Umino. Hey, they have great chemistry. How about that? Sucks that Shota Umino was off his game, but a solid win. Another guy we gotta give his fucking finishers to is Shota Umino. It's a solid win, though. It could be a career-defining win for Shota Umino. This could be the win he needs to kind of propel him into the top. You never know. 70 for Coughlin and Dorada. Springboard Dragon Rana, first of all. That's fucking crazy. Second of all, what a performance from Dorada with a 70. Solid stuff there. He's the man. I can't praise that motherfucker enough. He's so talented. Francesco and Jason Lee, as Jason Lee with a sunset flip powerbomb in 24 minutes. Hell yeah. What a win for Jason Lee. They both did about the same. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more here, but it is what it is. 73, though, for Flyer and Lee Moriarty. Both guys with 66. This could have went either way, but given the win to Lee Moriarty, it just feels like that makes sense. He's really coming to his own as of late. Massive win. So Black Taurus losing to Bushi. Even though Bushi, again with that injury, it's going to derail him a little bit performance-wise. We're going to have to probably put his matches a little bit lower than what they normally would be, but solid little matchup. It's just not as good as it could have been. But a 75, though, for Hiro Jr. Fujita and Fuminori Abe. He's a Shining Wizard for Abe in 25 minutes, our main event. The 68, Kushida, losing to John Silver. John Silver, the Enziguri, for Antonio Inoki. As what a win, though, for John Silver. And, 70, obviously a goofy little show when you think of all the performance ratings, because literally it was like one after another. It's like, solid opener, okay, next matchup, solid match between Coughlin and Dorado. Then it's like, solid little match of Jason Lee and Francesco. Then it's like, oh, wow, really solid little match between Lee Moriarty and Flyer. And then Bushi and Black Taurus, it's like, kind of went down a little bit. It's a roller coaster of emotions. What was that day 7 show? But on to day 8 we go. Alright, day 8, as we'll take a look at the standings after this show. As Tanahashi passing on Psychology to Yuma Zai. As, this is a big show, though, obviously. We're getting towards the tail end. There's only going to be, as far as 3 shows left for each block. So 6 in total, obviously. And this is big. This is massive to see. It's how it's all going to play out as far as the tournaments in themselves. So the main event, man, this is a tough one, because there's a lot of good matches, but I don't think there's one match where I'm like, that's gotta be the main. Maybe this, Roddy and Robbie Eagles, or Shane Strickland and Riley Lee. I'm torn between those two. I think I'm gonna go with Strickland and Riley Lee. Just give them an opportunity to at least showcase their stuff. So Riley Lee's gonna get the win, though, in 25 minutes. Roddy and Robbie Eagles. As Roddy's going to beat Robbie Eagles. Never mind, because Roddy's going to beat Robbie Eagles, who's been on a tear. I believe he's been undefeated so far in this Best Super Juniors tournament. I believe he's got 6 points right now. If my math is correct. And, that's a massive win. That is a massive win for Roderick Strong. That's a massive win for the block as well, as a whole, as far as what that can change as far as the outcome of that tournament just like that. Samurai del Sol going to beat El Fantasma in 20 minutes. Tozawa and Fred Yehai. Fred Yehai is going to beat Akira Tozawa. First time loss for Akira Tozawa there. Going to give that 26 minutes. I think that's the right guy to have, Tozawa lose to. And Fred Yehai trying to make a guy. And he's been fantastic, though, this tournament. It just has not gone his way. Speaking of a guy who we're trying to make, Drew Gulak beating Taiji Ishimori in 21 minutes. Major win. Major victory. Ishimori not complaining is awesome to see. Then we'll have Dante Martin, Daniel Garcia. Dante Martin's going to beat Daniel Garcia. That's a massive win for Dante. That's a 24-minute matchup. Then Shun Skywalker, Ren Narita, seal the show matchup. Ren Narita with another victory. He's going to beat Shun Skywalker. Damn, Shun Skywalker's pissed. Fuck it. Pay him off. Yo and SB Kento's going to kick off the show then, and SB Kento will be beating Yo, which that match is probably going to suck as well. Unfortunately. We need to take 1 minute off. There we go. 23-minute matchup now. So I'm assuming we'll have to change the ref and agent. Yeah. Nailed it. Yeah, let's change. This could be the core control. Don't hate that. But also, part of me is like, well, I know I want to run the semifinals and finals in like Budokan and then the Tokyo Dome. So we might just do that instead. I think that's what we're going to do. So to the Kyushu we go, to this convention center. Day 8. Let's see what we get for this. Oh my god, 35 for the opener. I figured it's going to be shit, but was hoping to at least be in the 40s still, but yeah, not even close. SB Gendo, though, with the SB Shooter, 18 minutes. Yeah, 38 for Shun Skywalker and Ren Narita. Yeah, Narita was really off his game, so this makes this match not even close, but Narita special number 3, which I believe that is the That's that's the submission. Yeah, that's the like little figure four. Wait, what's that? Like an elevated like double ankle lock is what that is. It's trying to describe it through words. I would say that's probably the best way to go about it. But it's a great win for Narita. We're still trying with him. Dante Martin beating Daniel Garcia with the springboard cutter. Not bad at all. 262s there. 71 for Drew Gulak and Taiji Shimori. He's almost in the 60s. Way to go, Drew Gulak. As another spine splitter for him. Fred Ye breaks his collarbone. Just great. As Yehai getting the win with the Koji clutch, but at what cost? Fuck. 68 for El Fantasmo and Samurai del Sol. I mean, Samurai del Sol and El Fantasmo, that would make sense to have a pretty good chemistry between those two guys. Samurai del Sol getting the win, though, with the Rising Sun in 20 minutes. Solid stuff. 69 there. Nice rating. Oh, my God. Another injury here. The poor foundation just getting banged up here. Ryu Lee getting the win, though, in 24 minutes. It's a great win. It's just tough break for the foundation. So many goddamn injuries. Roderick Strong beating Robbie Eagles with a strong hold in 27-24. Solid matchup there. Robbie Eagles did outperform him, but it's a great one for Roderick Strong, so I'm okay with it. Yeah, there's a whole lot of bullshit on this show. Drew Gulak and Taiji Shimori should have been the main event. Yeah, that is what it is. The injury just derailed kind of the rest of the show, unfortunately, and probably the wrong thing was the co-main, and just not a great show. not a great show at all. So more injuries. What's that, the fourth injury this tournament? Just massive amount of injuries. I felt like we spaced out the schedule pretty well. I guess we didn't. But, man, just brutal stuff. Brutal stuff to see. We'll take a look at the standings to see where everybody's at. As, and we'll probably have to look and see who needs surgery, who doesn't need surgery. With a broken collarbone, I'm assuming he's not going to be able to wrestle. Shane Strickland's, it's probably going to be up in the air, depending on, as far as how severe that tear was. But, of course, TEW's not wanting to load. We'll just take a look at the standings when we load up day 9. Alrighty, so the standings after 8 nights of action. We'll be looking at here in a little bit after we take a look at these backstage incidents as Satoshi Kojima passing on microphone work to Hayato Tamura, and then Nakamura one split over Fuminori Abe. Well, that's pretty awesome. Goddamn, it will expire in 6 months, and it's good for 3 matches. Jesus, he really wants to put him over. Lord have mercy. As let's pick the venue while we're here. I think we're already back around the loop, but I think we're gonna go with the. Well, it sucks because we just ran Block A. Oh, fuck. Yeah, it's fine. We'll, because, it's technically a different area. Toyoshi General Gymnasium. It's a different city. It's just in the same kind of region, though. It should still be a fine little show. And a good showing. But the standings. After 4 nights of action for each block. As for Block A. Leading the block, Jonathan Gresham, the junior heavyweight champion, hasn't lost yet. He's had quite the run so far. Bushi's right behind him with 6, and then it's Jason Lee, Black Taurus, and Shota Umino with 4 points, which is pretty wild. Shout out Shota Umino with 4 points. Alex Shelley with 3, and then Kier Francesco and Drew Parker with 2. And that's how Block A is shaping up. I would say it's Gresham's block to lose, that's for sure. Block B, Kira Tozawa. There as far as with 6 points, as is what was Fred Yehai, now Myron Reed, since Yehai is not going to be able to compete for the rest of the tournament, which sucks, because he's had a hell of a Best Super Junior so far. But Myron Reed gets to try and finish what Yehai started, and then Ren Narita, Daniel Garcia, Tante Martin, and Samurai del Sol, all with 4 points. This is going to be quite the block, though. I think this is going to come down to the wire. There are so many different variables of how this is going to end. First of all, Clark Connors being replaced by Ren Narita, he started off with 0 points, Clark Connors. Once Narita came in, though, immediately jumped up to 4 points. So he's been fantastic in this edition. El Fantasma with 2 points, as does Shun Skywalker. It's kind of crazy because Fantasma's done really well, actually, in this tournament. Just hasn't picked up the wins. For Block C, very, very close. You see how close it is. Oh, actually, I think the point system's all fucked up is why that is. Because, yeah, it looks like it's up to 1 point each. Not sure what happened there. So that should be 4. And that should be 6. Same thing here. So this should all be 6 and not 3. So I see what happened here. As, yeah, so Abe, Lee Moriarty, and Masquerade all with 6 points. I can't believe that happened. That is so funny. We probably can't fix that, yeah. Because that's unfortunate that we're going to have to kind of look at it and do it ourselves. It's not that big of a deal. Like, obviously, that's, well, that's actually right, though. As, for some reason, yeah, that should be 3. Yeah, that should be right, too. That's, oh no, that's Block A. I'm an idiot. I was about to say, what the fuck's going on? Yeah, here we go. Back to where we were. So, yeah, there's 6 points for Abe, 6 points for Moriarty, and 6 points for Dorada. So this is going to be interesting. So, Lee Moriarty's already lost to Abe. So there is that. Dorada has not faced off against Abe yet. So that's really going to determine who's going to win Block C, if I had to guess. Though Kushida, you know, as far as he's lost to John Silver and he lost to Dorada. So that's going to be potentially, that could be a tiebreaker for sure as far as losing to Dorada. But he still has to face Lee Moriarty and Fuminori Abe. Actually, he's beaten Fuminori Abe already. Oh, no. No, he has not. That's, oh, no, he has. He has. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, Kushida has beaten Fuminori Abe. So that was weird. That took me a while to figure that out. But we finally did it. It's just so weird seeing everything so low on the points. It's fucking up the vibes. But, yeah, we got it, though. It's going to be another one. I think it's going to come down to the end to see who's going to win. At least Block D is where it's supposed to be. 3-way tie for first, though, and Robbie Eagles, Roderick Strong, and Ryu Lee. That's a tough-ass block, for sure. Because all those guys are deserving winners, as is Taiji Shimori, and I would even say Drew Gulak. He has been fantastic so far. You know, as far as that's a massive 4 points for him. SB Kendo with 4 points as well. Yo with 2, and then what was Shane Strickland, now Christian Casanova, 0 points, which Casanova, at least it's like, well, can only go up from here, you know, as far as can't lose any points. So at least that gives him a little bit of something to kind of hang his hat on. But yeah, that's so far I think this Best of Juniors, barring the injuries, because I mean the injuries have been brutal. I think we've done okay. I think we've done exactly what this tournament needed to do. As far as Lee Moriarty and Dorada's going to beat Lee Moriarty. So that's a big win for Dorada, first of all. Jonathan Gresham versus Black Taurus. Jonathan Gresham beating Black Taurus. Oh, do we do it? Do we do it is the question. Black Taurus has beaten him already. Twice. So yeah, I think Gresham needs that win. I think it's a good, compelling story. Could even be the main event. And let's keep it. Keep it as a co-main. Let's go with Abe and Flyer, since Fuminori Abe has been phenomenal so far. Abe's going to get the win in 22 minutes. Nice win for him. Kushida versus Coughlin. Kushida's going to beat Alex Coughlin. Poor Alex Coughlin. 3 straight losses for him. We'll go with Silver and Hayata Jr. for Jita. Silver getting another major win. So that's 2 straight major victories for John Silver. Jason Lee and Bushi. This would be obviously a lot higher, but because Bushi's injury. Do we change the finish is the question. Let's change it. Let's give it to Jason Lee here. Actually, let's take a look at the match history. So Jason Lee beat him during that, again, weird that they had that G1 matchup. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine by me, having Jason Lee win. So I'm assuming Umino and Francesco's the Seal of the Show matchup, which this will not be good enough to really get a good rating. But Francesco's going to win, beating Shota Umino. And then Drew Parker, Alex Shelley. Shelley's going to win in 20 minutes, which we will be changing somebody as far as the ref and agent. Let it be Liger. Damn. Shabbat. There we go. So it's Sanjado. But yeah, I think it's going to be a solid little show. I think that co-main and main's a compelling story, and Abe's been doing well, so it should be a solid little show. 62 for the opener. There we go. With Drew Parker and Alex Shelley having a solid little opener. Shelley with the win, though, the Border City stretch. 2 points for him. Yep. I mean, it was a 40, so at least it wasn't in the 30s, but the Akira Assault from Akira Francesco getting the win over Shota Umino. least he gets the win, and that's 2 points for him. 63 for Jason Lee over Bushi with the Hong Kong Tornado. And 23-13, I think that was the right decision to call an audible there. Give it to Jason Lee thanks to Bushi's injury. 68 for Silver and Hayato Jr. Fujita. Silver was off his game, so this would have probably been a better performance rating compared to Hayato Jr. Fujita. But because of that, Hayato Jr. Fujita is the better guy. Loses, though, to the Discus Lariat, does Hayato Jr. Fujita. That's a solid matchup, though. 68, that could have been a little bit better. Obviously, if Silver was on his P's and Q's, but he isn't. But we get a good matchup here for Kushida and Alex Coughlin. Coughlin's kind of declining a little bit. I think it's because he's lost 3 straight now. Probably not feeling it as far as, just kind of holding back. Oh, but, solid matchup for Coughlin and Kushida. Kushida with a 69. Nice. Coughlin with a 59. The Kushida lock for Kushida there. It's a good win. Good little 70 there. 81 for Abe and Flyer. Should have been the main event. It's a solid match. As it's got some good wrestling involved. Yeah, Abe killing it. Shining Wizard there. And 21-48. Fantastic stuff. Best rating so far from somebody. And then Gresham beating Black Taurus with a spike driver. That's probably should have been the main, and this should have been the co-main. We'll see how the main event actually does, though. Yep, 70. Didn't deliver as well as I thought it would. But Dorada with the corkscrew, somersault, senton bomb. Phenomenal stuff from Dorada and Lee Moriarty, though. It's just they are not at that level compared to a positive chemistry matchup between Abe and Flyer, and then Gresham and Black Taurus. He is the junior heavyweight champion, so he probably should have even, been the main even. I think that could have been believable as well. Sucks that Francesco Numino didn't really deliver, but we knew that going in, though, at least. So it wasn't a surprising result. Now into the double digits. It can only go up from here. As far as, I don't think we can have, as far as, unless, somebody like Gresham or Abe or Ryu Lee gets hurt, then that might be catastrophic for this tournament. But other than that, it has hobbled its way almost to the finish line. We're at the home stretch now. It's just got to pass the finish line, and hopefully no major players get hurt here for the rest of these shows. All right, no backstage incidents, so we can get right into the show once I pick a venue. It looks like, we've kind of been everywhere. Well, looks like we might go back around to the prefectural gyms and the Sun Plazas. Yeah, we could also go, we could run the sellout walking on the prefectural gym. We can even run the Akita Gate Arena again. Maybe even the Sendai Sun Plaza. It won't sell out, but it would be relatively close. Maybe not relatively, but let's do it. Why not? So the main event for this show, boy oh boy. So I would say it's either Gulak and Eagles, or Garcia and Samurai del Sol. It's not looking good. Because it's like Tozawa and Shun Skywalker. It's awesome that 2 Dragon Gate guys are facing off here, but I just don't think it's going to go as well as I would have hoped. But Gulak's going to beat Robbie Eagle. So first of all, Drew Gulak has had quite the fucking tournament. That is a massive win. Second of all, it's well deserved. I think it's going to be relatively close there, but Samurai del Sol, Daniel Garcia. Del Sol's going to beat Garcia in 23 minutes. It sucks because this, Roger Strong, this would have been Roger Strong and Shane Strickland, which I think that would have been a little bit better than what we're going to get here. But Roddy's going to beat him. 26 minutes that's going. I think we should bump that down a little bit more. About 22. Because I think this should be a little bit higher. SB Kento and Ryu Lee. So Ryu Lee's going to beat the former junior champion. 21 minutes there. So then we have... we'll go Ishimori and Yo. This might be a technical masterclass matchup. Oh, it's a steel show matchup. Okay. They might have good chemistry is why that is. Yeah, because a 67, that probably been a little bit higher. Without the bad chemistry. Who knows? We're just going to kind of roll the dice and see what happens. Myron Reed, though, losing to Dante Martin in 20 minutes. Is that, we did not change that finish. That is what it was. As far as, so he was going to beat Fred Yehai, so that would have been a major win. Fortunately, that's not going to be the case. Tozawa was going to be Shun Skywalker there, and that will mean El Phantasmo and Ren Narita will be the opener, which Ren Narita will be beating El Phantasmo. 3 straight victories for Ren Narita. This is tough. Because I think the Ren Narita winning streak should probably end here. Yeah, we'll change that to Phantasmo. I think that was the right call. So we're good to go. Let's run it. It's a 39. Jesus Christ. El Phantasmo with a 57. 47 for Ren Narita. The right guy wins, but that was brutal. As greetings from Camwood Park. About to say greetings from Asbury Park, but greetings from Camwood Park for El Phantasmo in 18 minutes. Not bad at all. 58 for the Ishimori Yo matchup. Ishimori was off his game, so that did affect it. And not a great matchup. I wonder what happened there. If that was more inconsistency, stamina for both guys and holding back. So not a great Steal the Show matchup. Tozawa beating Shun Skywalker with the German suplex again. At least he's gotten that over, but it's just the in-ring performance not really there where I thought it was going to be. Dante Martin beating Myron Reed, though, with Springboard Cutter. Let's be a fun match, though. Real life, two talented fuckers. Young talented fuckers, but the better guy wins there with the victory for Dante Martin. Roderick Strong beating Christian Casanova with a stronghold. Again, Christian Casanova, super talented. Obviously, but Camelo Hayes is his fucking NXT gimmick. Super solid. But stronghold for Roddy, 21-38. It's crazy. I think everyone's seen the statistic now. But Roddy has been in NXT. It's not even been the same length. It's now been longer than WCW Monday Night Nitro was on the air. So from, August of 95 all the way to March 2001? Solid 6 years? That's crazy. That is crazy. SB Kento losing to Ryu Lee. Great matchup for Ryu Lee to get a win there. And SB Kento's getting better, for sure. I think we kind of strapped the rocket a little too soon on him. We tried to make a guy. And instead of having that title, having a guy make the title instead of the title making a guy, type of thing. That's usually the guy makes the title, but we try to go the opposite route and try to really make somebody by using the belt, and don't think it worked out. Don't think that worked out at all. 65, though, for Samurai Del Sol and Garcia. This should have been before that previous matchup, but nice win for Samurai Del Sol with the Rising Sun, though. Garcia's kind of slacking a little bit now. Inconsistency and holding back in that matchup. Oh, and they don't click. What a terrible main event to have. Terrible luck there as Drew Gulak, though, beating Rob Eagles, the spine splitter. Another spine splitter for Drew Gulak, but just sucks that main event collapses like that. Ugh. Tough break. Should have just stuck with Ryu Lee and SB Kento. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. That is just unfortunate. A little bad luck there for day 10. But, now we just have 4 more tour shows left. Tournament shows, matches, to see how this will all play out. As it's now or never. Alrighty, so we have some major matchups on this show. Jonathan Gresham, Jason Lee, Block A supremacy there. Whoever wins that matchup is more likely going to go on to win the whole goddamn thing, depending on what happens. If it's Gresham, then he's got it locked for sure. He's not going to lose it. But if Jason Lee beats him here, not only are you going to get a future junior heavyweight title matchup, but also that has left the door open for him to potentially win the block outright as well. So that should be very, very interesting. And for Dorada and Fuminori Abe to determine who will win their block. As far as for Block C, to see, because they are the top 2 right now, and depending on who wins that matchup, will most likely, unless something crazy happens, will be the one to go on to the finals. Well, the semifinals, I guess, in this case, since you gotta beat your either Block A compatriot or, either your Block A compatriot or your Block B/D compatriot if you're on the BD side. But, I think this is going to be pretty solid. Actually, We're not even gonna. Yeah, never mind. I was thinking that. Yeah, I don't know. I was caught astray there for a second, but yeah, we got it. We got it squared away. Squared away there. Backstage incident. Tanahashi passing on microphone work to Yuma Anzai. Because even though usually it's blocks A and B in blocks C and D in the semifinals, since we did this little A, C, B, D thing, figures like that should make sense to have that be the semifinals as well. I think this will be the better match, so we're going to go with this. Dorada and Abe will win. I think that's no surprise. He's been the best guy in the tournament. Him and Gresham have been 1 and 2. However, for Jonathan Gresham's case, he is going to lose this match here against Jason Lee. So finally losing in the Best Super Juniors. Great win for Jason Lee. Should be a pretty good matchup, though. I'm surprised he didn't complain about losing, to be honest. For the rest of the card, Kushida and Hayato Jr. Fujita is a banger, and Kushida's going to beat him. That's a great win for Kushida. We'll go with Shelley and Francesco here. Francesco going to beat Alex Shelley. That's a big win for Akira Francesco, another guy that poor Shelley's going to have to put over. Flyer versus John Silver. John Silver going to beat Flyer there. That's a good win. Coughlin versus Moriarty. Poor Alex Coughlin just keeps on racking up losses. As this could go to either way here. I think this will be the Steal the Show matchup. It will be. Black Taurus going to beat Drew Parker. And Bushi potentially will be beating Shota Umino. Yes, he will. Now, do we have him lose is the question. Do we give this to Shota Umino? I say yes. Fuck it. We're going all the way. We're building up Shota Umino. Surprise upset in the opener. Alright, so this is all over the place. First of all, we gotta cut some time. Cut that down to about 20. That's already at 20. Let's cut this down. 22. Perfect. Alright. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, looks like it's back to the Hiroshima. Oh, actually, let's go the opposite. Let's flip-flop it. Yeah, we'll go with this Professional Sports Center, and then we'll have the Hiroshima Sun Plaza for night 12. But yeah, this is massive. Massive, because yes, you could see here. Jason Lee is now going to have 8. Bushi is stuck at 6, and Shelley stuck at 5. So it really is going to come down to those two as far as Jason Lee and Jonathan Gresham. As far as Gresham, if he loses to Shota Umino, which I would assume is not going to happen, but with Shota Umino getting a massive win over Bushi, stranger things have happened. And for Block C, of course. As far as with Kushida and Lee Moriarty both getting wins, it makes things a little interesting, especially for Kushida, since he's beaten Abe. If Abe loses at the final show at day 14, or day 13 rather, he might potentially bottle it for Kushida to sweep in and win his block. I think it's been some compelling story so far. It just sucks that the quality has not been there compared to what I would like it to be, but it is what it is. Hey, Shota Umino outperformed him. Right decision. As I showed you, getting the win in 18 minutes. Hell yeah. Nice win for the Task Force Death guy. Black Taurus, though, beating Drew Parker with the Infernal Suplex. Hell yeah. Black Taurus getting a win. It's always nice to see. Lee Moriarty beating Alex Coughlin with the joint custody again. He's been tremendous so far. Flyer losing to John Silver. John Silver was off his game, so the wrong guy wins. That would have been a nice win for Flyer, I'm not going to lie, but Johnny Silver, though, with the discus lariat. Johnny Hungry has a solid performance from Flyer, though. Alex Shelley losing to Akira Francesco with the Utaka. As Akira Francesco, Alex Shelley was close. I think it was a believable upset. It was a nice win for Francesco. He needed that win, for sure. Kushida beating Hayato Jr. Fujita with the Kushida lock. Not surprised this was a good little matchup. And Kushida with a 60 for Hayato Jr. Fujita. Not bad at all. 75 for the co-main event as Jason Lee beating the junior heavyweight champion with the Hong Kong Tornado. Looking to have his second reign as the junior heavyweight champion as Jason Lee if he can beat Gresham again. And at 73 for our main event, Dorada strains a muscle in this matchup, but Abe gets the win with the Shining Wizard. 27-36. Great win for Abe. That's a really good match, though. It's a fun main event. Sucks the injury happened because it kind of deflated the match a little bit, but still, I'm happy with their performances despite the injuries. And yeah, probably should have Jason Lee Johnson. That should be the main event. Who would have thought, having the junior champion lose? But I wanted the shock, the surprise, like, oh wow, as far as it was, kind of, and also that story of having Gresham, being undefeated up until that point in the Best Super Juniors, as far as this Best Super Junior so far. Shocking upset. Maybe not even a shocking upset, but a shocking loss would probably make more sense. But yeah, now on to, as far as day 12, to see how blocks B and D are looking like going into their final shows. And hopefully, again, nobody seriously gets hurt. I think that injury to Dorada is not going to derail him too much, but we shall see. Wow, so Dorada's out for 2 months, so that's just great. Just great. The shit pile just keeps on getting bigger. Great, great, great. So, main event will definitely be Ryu Lee and Roderick Strong, because this is determined who wins that block, and Ryu Lee getting the win. It's for Block D. Both guys tied at 8. Really, this now, as far as potentially Robbie Eagles can swoop in, depending on how he does in his matchup. Other than that, it's down. It's a 2-man race there from Block D, and Ryu Lee gets it right before the end of the bell. We'll just add Robbie Eagles' match just to see. He's beating Yo to kick off the show, so there we go. That it's going to be down to those two for Block D. As for Block B, so Tozawa and Ren Narita. Tozawa's going to get the win. I believe that will mean 10 points for Tozawa. That's pretty crazy to think that he's the first guy to reach double digits. Well, Abe was, but it's all fucked. Well, actually, yeah, it would be him. But yeah, Tozawa with a win over Ren Narita. Massive stuff there. So then we, Christian Casanova. It's Drew Gulak. Because Drew Gulak's going to beat Christian Casanova in the Steal the Show matchup. There we go. To add that, but yeah, that's a great one for Drew Gulak. Again, he's been, I would definitely say, the most improved guy. I think he was elevated from this tournament. That's exactly what we need. SB Kento beating Taiji Ishimori. What a win for the junior champion. Ishimori's going to put him over too. What a pal. Love it. Love to see it. That will be the co-main. Samurai del Sol, Myron Reed can go here. Samurai del Sol going to get the win in 20 minutes. It's a great win for Samurai del Sol. El Fantasma, Daniel Garcia. El Fantasma beating Daniel Garcia. That's a big win. Oh, damn. We're going to have to definitely change the time, though, for this show. Give me 2:30. Thank you. And Dante Martin and Shun Skywalker, final match to add, which Dante Martin will be winning. So yeah, for Block B, because Dante Martin with that win jumps up to 8, and really it was up to Fred Yai, and with Yai being taken out and Myron Reed being replaced by him, it's basically been like, well, it's going to come down to if Dante Martin can beat him, and even then, I don't think it's going to matter, because obviously Tozawa's basically already sealed his fate, and he will be advancing to the semifinals. So what a debut for Tozawa. Comes in as a freelancer, wins his block. Massive. Dante Martin, though, nice to see that he was battling to be in the top echelon for sure. And Fred, yeah, I think as a, we have a story with him that we'll talk about relatively soon. So that should be fun to see. Kind of all unfold. And I think that's going to give a little bit more credibility to that story, too, which that's nice to see. Yes, so back to this, where we're going to run the Hiroshima Sun Plaza for day 12. But, I want to look at the medical page real quick to show everyone what we have had to deal with. Literally, we only had Brian and Tomirishi. That's the only people that was injured going into this. Now, Shane Strickland. 35 days. Yay, 19 days. 2 months for Clark Connors and Dorada, and Mbushi with 3 days. Fucking brutal. Hopefully that means that the G1 should go very nicely. That's all we can hope for. Rob Eagles beating Yo. I don't know why Yo has a face gimmick debut. I never changed anything, so that's kind of weird. Oh well. Pulse drop, though, for Rob Eagles. Drew Gulak beating Christian Casanova. Great performance from Drew Gulak, and again, tough break for Christian Casanova as far as I thought he was going to do a little bit better in this matchup since it was a steal of the show match, but it did not deliver on that level for sure. It's Dante Martin beating Shun Skywalker with the springboard cutter in 21:38. Great little performance there from Dante Martin. At 60 for Samurai Del Sol and Myron Reed. The Del Sol driver for Samurai Del Sol. Great win there. Getting the win in 20 minutes. Myron Reed off his game. Tough break. The 59 for Tozawa and Ren Narita. German suplex from Tozawa. This should have been a little bit lower. I'm just trying to get Narita up a little higher, but I don't think it's going to happen in such a quick time span. 60s, though, for El Fantasma and Daniel Garcia. The match will get to 65. El Fantasma, though, the greetings from Camwood Park. I think El Fantasma, I think he's definitely done the court of justice well. You know, he's kind of proven that he belongs here after being kind of ran out. I think that's a great... The court of justice is such a compelling story, and we'll talk about that more throughout the upcoming episodes, but I think it's a compelling story to think as far as a group of guys that are given a chance to not only kind of right their wrongs, but also, you know, spread their, you know, quote-unquote justice as far as in fixing all the injustice that went wrong with them. And I think it's been a good story. I think it's been an interesting little wrinkle. As SB Kento beating Taiji Ishimori with the SB Shooter. Great win for SB Kento, first of all. Can't believe Ishimori's putting him over, though, and not complaining about it. Like, Ishimori's been the man for doing that. God damn it. Ryu Lee and Ryder Strong don't click, so that hurts the main event. That would have been such a good match. Unfortunate, but Ryu Lee still outperforms him, and he was the better performer, so at least he got the win there. And that's a great win, though, for Ryu Lee, and I think definitely Block D is looking pretty solid, and for potentially to see Ryu Lee and Akira Tozawa, that's a fun dream match. Maybe not dream match, but a fun first-time matchup would make more sense. Because they would absolutely kill it. That is for sure. Tough break, though. We've had a couple of tough breaks during this Best Super Juniors as far as main events not delivering and injuries. This fucking tournament's cursed. I don't know what it is. Just in this save. We just could never pull off. Oh, well, we've had some good ones in the past. I will say that. Once I kind of was like, alright, let's kind of put all our chips into the Best Super Juniors basket when we had, you know, Paca, right, and Ray Phoenix and all these top juniors in it. Now, we've, you know, went through the transition period of trying to elevate that junior division more, and it's definitely caused the shows to struggle, but I think at the end of the day, I think some of the top players are still delivering, so at least there is that. But yeah, on to the final two tournament shows to see how the semifinals will be shaken up. Will be looking like going into the semifinals. Alrighty, day 13. As a backstage inset, Satoshi Kojima passing on the microphone work to Hayato Tamura here. Massive show. As far as, is it going to be Jonathan Gresham? Will it be, shockingly, Jason Lee, who will go on as far as for Block A, and then for Block C, as far as who will be the man to join either Jonathan Gresham or Jason Lee. Is it going to be Fumino Arabe? Is it going to be, as far as, what would have been Dorada, but now I guess we'll have Flamita fill in for him. So I didn't even think about that. So yeah, we'll do that while I'm thinking about it for Block C. Also, as far as Kushida as well, should definitely be talked about. I guess more Kushida more than anything, but it's Flamita. Oh, we're actually Dorada with Flamita. Ugh, yeah, that's it's tough seeing Dorada have his hard work be cut short like that. 8 points, very, very solid performance. Crazy, Lee Moriarty with 8, Kushida with 8. A lot of talented motherfuckers getting a lot of major victories. But yeah, I mean, as far as if Abe loses to Coughlin, and if Kushida beats Lee Moriarty, we'll have a tiebreaker win for Kushida. So I guess we'll go through those matches first. First, we'll see if Kushida will in fact beat Lee Moriarty. He will, so that's a major win, first of all. And we'll see, is Gresham going to lose to Shota Umino? He will not. So Gresham will win his block. Junior heavyweight champion going on to the semifinals. So now, will it be Abe or will it be Kushida that he will be facing? It will be Fuminori Abe. He's going to beat Alex Coughlin. Tough break for Alex Coughlin to kind of go on a landslide like that. But, yeah, we're going to have him be the main Silver Dorado. Well, Silver and Flamita now. And so we're going to give that to John Silver. Now, probably should have just had him forfeit, instead. But it's nice to at least have him have a match. And for at least John Silver to get a win. No matter who it be against. As far as, from that perspective, Jason Lee, Drew Parker can go next. Drew Parker going to beat Jason Lee. That's a major upset, though. Lee is pissed about that loss. That's huge. Absolutely huge. Shelley Black Taurus. Love the match. Shelley's going to beat him. Think that's the right choice. Given that way too much time, though. Bump that down a little bit. Because I love Alex Shelley and Black Taurus. But those guys don't need all that time. I'm so confused on what's going to be the technical masterclass. I don't think it'd be this. And Bushi's going to beat Francesco. Calling an audible. Francesco getting the win. I think that's the right call, especially with the injury. This must be this then. Flyer beating Hayato Jr. Fujita. Wild. That's a wild upset. Alright, so something has got to give as far as for this being a technical masterclass matchup. It definitely is not. I mean, Flamita, I guess maybe. I mean, he's okay as a technical guy, but really not the best. Francesco, again, is not. He's decent, but again, not the best. Flyer is not. His name is Flyer. Obviously, not really the best technical guy either. I mean, Jason Lee, Drew Parker might be our best bet here, honestly. I think Jason Lee, not really the best technically. Well, yeah, no, he's actually pretty solid technically. Yeah, this will be it. Major upset in the opener. Drew Parker over Jason Lee. I think that will shock some people. Yeah, we'll put that there. Again, gotta make sure this show is at 2:30, which we'll have to bump down sometime anyway, which I already know which match I'm gonna cut down. Being this one. And then 1 minute off more. Yeah, give him 28 minutes. Assuming. Okay, we're good to go. Perfect. So again, looks like. Oh yeah, we could go with the Wakayama Fractional Gym for this night. I don't see why not. For day 13. What a show. What a show. Seeing, Fuminori Abe and Kushida being the main and co-main is nice. But Jason Lee, losing to the double foot stomp from Drew Parker. Tough break there. So I got a 66. Gresham and Shota Umino don't have chemistry. So there is that. But Gresham at least outperforms him. I figured so. That'd be something very bad would have happened if he would have outperformed him. But at least the junior champion, he knows he sealed his fate. He doesn't have to sweat about, worrying about what's going to happen after this matchup. He's going on to the semifinals. Hayato Jr. Fujita losing the Flyer. His Flyer with a 450 outperformed him. That guy wins there. 68, not a bad little matchup. 64 for Bushi and Akira Francesco. It's Francesco with the Utaka. Good win there for Akira Francesco. Bushi is a little bit he's got a little bit low morale, which is causing that. But I think, he's all healed up and ready to go. It's not a bad rating from Flamita, to be honest. John Silver getting the win with the Enziguri in 15:49. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Black Taurus losing to Alex Shelley, even though Black Taurus outperformed him. As that has sealed, as far as Block A being won by Jonathan Gresham, of course. It's Kushida beating Lee Moriarty with the Kushida lock. And that is a big win for Kushida over Lee Moriarty. Great little matchup there. I would love to see this in real life. That would be pretty fantastic. And Fuminori Abe beats Alex Coughlin in the main event, winning with the Shining Wizard in 25:45. Kushida just needed a little bit of luck, but couldn't get the luck he needed. Big win for Abe. So, man, Abe and Jonathan Gresham. What a match. What a match in the semifinals that shall be. And we'll see who's joining them in the semifinals. It's our final tournament show, day 14. It should be a banger. It really should be, because I think it's really going to come down to, with Ryu Lee winning over Roderick Strong. That was a major win. So it's really Ryu Lee's block to lose. And for Block B, it is a bit of a crapshoot. That block is pretty much wide open, so that could be really anybody, honestly, from Block B going on to the semifinals. Alrighty, and the Best of Juniors Day 14 final tournament show. We're in Korakuen Hall for this one. And as far as the main event, we'll see as far as will Tozawa go on to the finals. Looks like he will, because he beats Dante Martin. And really, this just comes down to maybe, as far as just if somehow, some way, Myron Reed would have been able to win at least 8 matches, this would have been a little closer, but just the landslide once he came in, brutal. Brutal. And shit, look at El Phantasmo beating Myron Reed here. So the wins just keep on coming. Taiji Shimori, though, versus Ryu Lee is a fantastic matchup. Ryu Lee will be getting the win. As for Block D here, Ryu Lee jumping up to 12. I would say that sealed that, and he will be winning Block D with that victory. So that will obviously be the main event. But to kind of see if we get there, as far as Robbie Eagles, SB Kento can go, as far as, we'll go 28 minutes. Robbie Eagles going to get the win near the end of the time. It's a major win for Robbie Eagles, because at least he's pushing to where it's a must-win match now for Ryu Lee. Samurai Del Sol, Shun Skywalker. What a match this would be, though, as Samurai Del Sol going to get the win in 14 minutes. Garcia and Narita should be a technical masterclass matchup. It is. Garcia will win. Perfect. Roddy and Drew Gulak. Love it. Roddy's going to win. 27 minutes there. It's another match that's probably going to go on a little too long than it needs to, but I'm okay with it since it's Roddy and Drew Gulak. That will probably be pretty solid. Then Christian Casanova versus Yo. Yo's beating him in 10 minutes. Brutal stuff there. There we go. So, that will mean, as far as, I don't know why I was looking at the venue, it's already been set. So that will mean that the semifinals will consist of the winners of blocks A and C battling it out against the winners of block B and D battling it out, which we'll see as far as Akira Tozawa versus Ryu Lee, and we'll see Fuminori Abe versus Jonathan Gresham. Pretty solid Final Four, if you will, as far as the winners of each block. I think each one makes sense. Tozawa, the freelancer, coming out of nowhere, the junior heavyweight champion, obviously. Ryu Lee winning a tough block, and then Fuminori Abe being really like the MVP of the tournament and really dominating, well, maybe not dominating, but winning out in his block as well. Pretty solid stuff, though. As for the opener, Daniel Garcia beating Ren Narita with the Dragon Sleeper. Great win there for Garcia. 45 for Casanova and Yo. Figured it was going to suck. Casanova outperforming him, though. Didn't see that coming. It's a good win for Yo, though. And Samurai Del Sol beating Shun Skywalker, their rising sun. Let's get to 70. Shun Skywalker just not really delivering us thought as much as I would have hoped he would once we signed him. Just hasn't been there. We might send them to CMLL, honestly, just kind of see what would happen if we send them down there for a little bit and kind of freshen up a little bit after this Best Super Juniors. El Phantasmo, Myron Reed, as El Phantasmo with the greetings from Campbell Park. Another match that kind of hurt a little bit. I think just two guys that are unimportant there, unfortunately. But yeah, tough break. At least Myron Reed's getting better, but again, just not enough to beat El Phantasmo. Roderick Strong with a sick kick over Drew Gulak. Love it for Roddy. A nice win. Nice matchup, though, for Roddy and Drew Gulak. 63 for Robbie Eagles and SB Kento. The Warp 4-5 for Robbie Eagles. Potentially could have won the block had Ryu Lee bottled it at the end. Tozawa with the German suplex over Dante Martin. Tough break. Really a tough break there. Who would have thought that Tozawa would have been declining here and would have had, a terrible run? Could we have called an audible about halfway through? Yeah, we could have. We could have seen how Tozawa was going to do and just be like, yeah, we got to put somebody else over in the Block B tournament winner, have it not be Tozawa, but thought maybe, potentially maybe he'll save it to where it won't start declining until after the tournament, but it literally happened mid-tournament, and it's not a good sign for Akira Tozawa. 75 though for the main event as Ryu Lee beating Taiji Shimori. Great stuff there for the main event, as we needed that for Ryu Lee to have a massive win. This should have been a lot higher though. It's actually a really solid match. Could have been the co-main. But yeah, Mexa Blood showed out well. Fumino Abe showed out, well as far as Kushida and Roddy, Drew Gulak, did really well. A lot of impressive performances for sure. As far as maybe not so great performances from the likes of someone like an SB Kento or a Yo, which is unfortunate because I wish the Japanese native talent was really kicking some ass right now, but it's really kind of being strong held by both Abe and really that as far as Abe and Taiji Shimori, because you could say Jason Lee is, but also Jason Lee's from China too, so that technically is a foreigner, but you get it though. The semifinals will be, as far as it's happening on a Saturday, then Sunday will be the finals. We'll talk about the final card once we get through the semifinals, because I do want to obviously build up to some Dominion matches on that show. And also for the semifinals, it's going to be interesting because it's not going to be at the same level as the finals, obviously. I want to make it to where the semifinals is like a little bit better of a tour show, but there's still, as far as really the focus is on the juniors, and really there's no big like undercard matches, but the finals will have some big undercard matches on it. So that's just kind of the plan going into the tournament semifinals and finals. Alright, so we're just going to start right at the show. Figured change it up a little bit for the semifinals, as because most of the undercard stuff, again, we're just building towards Dominion and also building towards the finals. So it's kind of like in a weird hodgepodge where it's just constantly undercard matches building to future matches, which I guess that's the entirety of this goddamn series. So there is that. But Drew Parker getting the win in the opener as House of Torture versus United Empire. This match is taking place because at Dominion, Jay White and Miro are going to take on the team of Walter and Katsuya Kitamura. As also Katsuya Kitamura, or no, it wasn't Katsuya Kitamura, rather. It was Walter who got hurt during a New Japan Strong taping, as Miro hurt him, so that was fun. But yeah, I think that matchup should be pretty fun to see. Obviously, Walter, it's in the unique spot because Katsuya Kitamura, I feel like him and Walter make a lot of sense to have as far as that matchup goes, but also because it's not United Rage, it's kind of in a weird spot, but I think that still should be a fun little tag team title matchup. But Josh Alexander was the best guy in this matchup. Look at Corey Jarvis, though, with a 59. Outperformed everybody else in this matchup. Just United Empire, killing it. Drew Gulak and Lee Moriarty beating Flamita and Samurai del Sol. This is building towards a Drew Gulak, Lee Moriarty, Flamita, or not Flamita, rather, Samurai del Sol, Ryu Lee. IWGP Tag Team title matchup that's happening at Dominion. It's a little foreshadowing here as Drew Gulak, though, with the Gulak. Love it. In 20 minutes. 74 for Blast Off versus House of Black. This match is building up towards Kota Ibushi versus Tyler Black. So at the first Strong taping during the Best Super Juniors, there was a match. It was Ibushi, I think it was just straight up Golden Ace versus Tyler Black and Malachi Black, as which is happening on the next show as well, with Tanahashi beating Malachi Black, and afterwards Tyler Black just saying, as far as cut a little promo to try to get their heat back, but also saying, there's been a guy on my list that I've been wanting to face since I got here, and I haven't gotten him yet. I got a little taste today, but I want the real thing, and I want the whole thing, and I'm going to get it at Dominion. And he throws out the challenge to Ibushi. Makes it, official. And, as far as that's going to be a fun-ass match, obviously. But, that's a, Kota Ibushi with a 93-86 for Tyler Black. House of Black do win this matchup, because I just feel like that makes sense. But, because Shun Skywalker, Takuya Nomura, Kota Ibushi, they were the better team. But just felt like they didn't really need the win more than House of Black needs the win, if that makes any sense. Of course, somebody else gets hurt, as it's Nakamura who gets hurt. Just fucking great. as Kushida tapping out Yo with the Kushida lock on this 8-man tag at Dominion. It's going to be a never openweight 6-man tag team title matchup between Shinsuke Nakamura, Alexander Hammerstone, and Kushida against Joe Doring, Shotaro Ashino, and Akira Francesco. So a little building here with this 8-man. Ashino with an 87, 84 for Nakamura. Obviously, Nakamura's injury takes that match down a good bit, but just sucks that injuries keep on happening. An 84 for the 6-man of United Empire versus Dragons Den. So we're going to have a champion versus champion matchup at Dominion. New Japan Strong Openweight Champion versus the Never Openweight Champion. I kind of want to have this be a full-time thing in the future for Dominion, as far as having the Never Openweight Champion versus New Japan Strong Openweight Champion. But yeah, just to kind of carry off of what happened with the Great O'Khan and Tyler Black, as far as he is still kind of wanting to prove he's the best Openweight Champion. That was at the challenge with Tamura. Tamura accepts, and we get our title versus title matchup. And I believe the belts will be on the line, though. So we will have a potential unified champion there. But, yeah, that's or I guess an undisputed Never Openweight champion, if you will. But also, Makabe has a U.S. title match against Claudio Castagnoli. So a little building with him getting a win over Garcia with the Makabe lock. Not a bad match at all. Not a bad match at all. 79 here for the 10-man tag. Now, it's kind of crazy. Because the theme of Dominion, which you'll see here in a little bit, is United Empire versus the world type of thing. Every match has a United Empire person on it. That's the story, that's the theme. They are trying to dominate the world, and that's kind of the theme throughout the show. So, funny enough, that leaves out 2 stables that have no matches on Dominion that probably should, and that's LIJ and Task Force Death. So a little 10-man tag for them to see what they can do. And also, this gives SB Kento a win over Shota Umino as well, which is always nice to try to build up SB Kento as much as we can, but just some fantastic ratings in that matchup. It's crazy to think that basically those 8 guys are not going to be on the second biggest show of the year, but listen, we got a story to tell. Sometimes you got to go with the story more than what the ratings are in TW at the end of the day. But the first 2 semifinals, Fuminori Abe beats the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. So just that right there is a major victory for Fuminori Abe. You beat a junior champion. No matter what happens, you're getting a title match against Jonathan Gresham in the future. Awesome stuff, though. 80s for both guys. Love it. Love it. Main event, 87. Ryu Lee beating Akira Tozawa. Fantastic stuff. And that will mean our finals is set. Ryu Lee versus Fuminori Abe. I think it's going to be a hell of a finals. I mean, Ryu Lee's performance was fantastic. That was great to see. And we will go through the card here rather shortly. Maybe we'll finally have a loading screen that doesn't fuck us here. It looks like it's stuck on an explosion. Just great. That's what happens, though, when you get a couple of years into a modern-day save. Just shit takes forever to load. But, man, I mean, I was not really expecting a whole lot from that semifinal show. But it did really well, actually. It did better than I expected. So that gives me some hope going into this Best Super Juniors final show. Of course, we know the main event. But there's also going to be an IWGP Junior Heavyweight title matchup. Oh, man, he is sidelined. Motherfucker. Oh, we just can't buy a fucking break. Can't buy a break. Oh, very low risk. Yes. Okay, well, 45 days still. So a long time. Well, looks like it's going to be Jeff Cobb at that match now instead. Just great. So, yes, the card. Of course, the main event, Fuminori Abe, Ryu Lee for the finals. As, that is going to be massive. Of course, the winner takes on the winner of the Jason Lee-Jonathan Gresham matchup at Dominion. Also, Kazuchika Okada versus, and Hayata Tamura teaming up versus Zack Sabre Jr. and the Great O'Khan. So 2 matches building here as Kazuchika Okada is, I love how because, yeah, I mean, that's, as far as what a match can be for Okada, he's looking at the main event, Dominion. And if he gets a major victory here, that might just happen. So that is pretty massive for Okada, that's for sure. Then Golden Ace, Tyler Black, Malachi Black, we talked about that a little bit. So we'll have to change this match around. We might end up going with a whole nother direction. It might even go with either Task Force Death or LIJ. That'd probably be the best case scenario there. So Rushmore versus Dark Order as well, which is going to be, as far as 8-man tag, obviously everybody from Rushmore, and then it's going to be Brody, Order of Destruction, and John Silver. So that should be a fun little 8-man. Claudio, Castagnoli, and Rex Steiner taking on Daniel Makabe and Corey Jarvis. So we'll talk about that match once we get there, because it's going to need a little bit more of a backstory a little bit, but you'll understand why Claudio and Rex Steiner are going to be teaming up. Then Taiji Ishimori and Drew Parker taking on Drew Gulak and Lee Moriarty. So they're having another tag team matchup to kick off the show. Taking on House of Torture. Should be a fun match though. As on to the finals we go. Alrighty, we got a backstage incident as we are in the Tokyo Dome. How fun for this show. Hopefully it's a sellout, but so Toshi Kojima passing on microphone work to Hayato Tamura here. As I just want to see. It's going to be close. It should be a sellout, though. Thank God. I was a little nervous. So, the main event, of course. Fuminori Abe. Ryu Lee. Who wins the best Super Juniors? It will be Fuminori Abe. So, that's crazy to think. This is the first time as far as a Gaijin has won, or not a Gaijin, a non-Gaijin, rather, has won, is what I was trying to say, since Hiromu in 2018. So, a long time coming. The Japanese Day of Talent. Oh, well, actually, since Ishimori, rather. Completely skipped over Ishimori. So, still, though, since 2020. So, it's been a while. It's been a while for sure. It's been 3 years. It's like it's time. It's time for sure. And, Abe and Jonathan Gresham get a rematch. Should be fascinating, because obviously we just saw Abe beat him. So, to turn around in, as far as a week's time and face him again should be massive. Should be very, very massive to see. But yeah, Best Super Juniors main event. Love it. So that should be a banger. Super excited, actually, to see how that plays out then. Okada and Hayato Tamura taking on Zack Sabre Jr. and the Great Okada. As Zack beating Hayato Tamura, though, thanks to interference from Josh Alexander. Little, bullshit interference is why I wanted, obviously, United Empire to win because they are an actual unit. But also some shenanigans. So you could kind of sense maybe that the desperation is kicking in. They want to keep their gold, and they'll do anything if as far as cheating, interference, anything they can to keep those belts. So it's kind of mad with power is a bit what's going on with the United Empire right now. But that should still be a fun co-main event. Junior Heavyweight title matchup though. Jason Lee, Jonathan Gresham kind of gave away the finish already. As it will be Jonathan Gresham retaining here. First defense for Jonathan Gresham, so that's nice. As, that should be a nice little matchup, though. Golden Ace, Tyler Black, Malachi Black. And Golden Ace will get the win. They beat him last time during that strong matchup. That was a 74 when we did that. As, we'll see how it goes here. Tanahashi's going to beat Malachi Black in the rematch, which was the exact same finish of the strong match. Kingdom of Strong Style versus, what was going to be Kingdom of Strong Style, rather. LIJ versus Chaos 10-man tag. Shingo's going to be Goto. It will be Tetsuya Naito, Hiromu Takahashi, and Sanada against the Neverweight champs of Joe Doring, Shotaro Ashino, and Akira Francesco. Should be a banger. That should actually be a really good 6-man. But Shingo's going to get the win over Goto. The reason why it's Sanada and not Shingo is because Naito has terrible chemistry with Shingo. He has great chemistry, though, with Naito, or with Hiromu, obviously. And then Sanada and Naito don't have any negative chemistry, and I think the same thing goes for Sanada and Hiromu, so it's just better that way. All positives all around compared to a negative. But Shingo's still going to get a win here against Hiroki Goto. Then Rushmore against Dark Order. Rushmore getting the win as Roddy's going to be John Silver in 20 minutes. Again, crazy. These 8 guys are not going to be on the Dominion card. Pretty nuts. Claudio and Rex Steiner against Makabe and Jarvis, as Rex Steiner's going to be Corey Jarvis. Big win for Rex Steiner there. And then House of Torture versus Drew Gulak and Lee Moriarty, as Gulak and Moriarty are going to get the win. Perfect stuff. So, post-show stuff. We'll have post-show press conference for Abe. As far as we're gonna give him a little bit more time because it's going to be the celebration and the fucking trophy gimmick and the check and the big as far as the in-ring camera shots and all that fun jazz, and then he cuts the as far as goes to the back and has his post-show press conference talking about the match with Gresham. Cool. I guess you could have the rest of the blast off, at least as far as Takunamura there, and even Shun Skywalker, maybe even Jason Lee kind of defeated, not looking so hot. Jason Lee makes sense there. So we're going to have a post-show press conference with an angry Hayata Tamura. And he's flipping shit. Well, he's going to flip the table. He's going to go on a rampage to destroy the set. He's pissed. He goes on the goddamn rampage. And it takes, and Garcia, O'Reilly, and Show are all there trying to calm him down. He's fucking smashing shit. It's awesome. Just doesn't have to cut a promo. No, doesn't even have to cut a post-show press conference. It's just him wanting, clearly what he's going to do with the Great O'Khan. Kind of maybe some wishful thinking from his part. Let's see what we get. As far as, I think what else we could have. Maybe United Empire, just as a whole. Just, as far as Zack and Great O'Khan. Go Walter. Kitamura. You have Alexander there. Gresham there. Just literally all of the guys. A lot of the guys you just seen today on this final show. But yeah, everyone's got their own little, as far as their story. Talk about their story. Well, Walter putting over his injury and still wanting to compete, and he's going to get those tag team titles. Going to bring the tag team gold back, him and Katsuya Kitamura, and Gresham talking about his title match. Gulak and Moriarty being announced as the junior tag team title challengers for Mexa Blood. So they're going to talk about their belts, or their potential title match victory as well. A lot happening for the United Empire, and just closing out the, as far as we're going to show that we are dominating New Japan, that this is our company. We are, we're going to end the night with me, as far as for Zack Sabre Jr., having my hand held high with the IWGP Heavyweight title around my waist after beating Kazuchika Okada. As, I think that's a pretty straightforward press conference, pretty straightforward angle where we're going with. Should be a fun main event, though, and at Dominion, as far as Okada and Zack Sabre Jr., the co-main, Ibushi, Tyler Black, then champion versus champion, with Hayata Tamura and the Great O'Khan. Just, also, forgot, one more, as far as post-show press conference, with Claudio and Rex Steiner. So Claudio putting over Rex, and kind of as far as this is his debut, of course, a part of New Japan, because we've been having him on Strong, kind of squashing dudes. He finally, hopefully, didn't put him on any tour shows or anything before this. I want to say he's strictly been on Strong shows. Yes, he has. Strictly been on the Strong tapings. Just been squashing guys, basically. But he has been teaming up with Claudio, and the story here being Claudio saying, I told everyone I was going to make my decision, but I'm not going to be the only one. I'm taking Rex Steiner with me. Rex has the potential to be an all-time talent in New Japan, and really putting over Rex. As far as saying this guy, what can say? I think everybody knows in this room type of thing. It's just what that last name means, and the dominance that name brings, and he's gonna bring that dominance to where I'm bringing my talents too. So it's a 2-for-1 deal now. It's not even just Claudio now. It's where's him and Rex Steiner going to go? So he's kind of recruiting as well as Claudio for this, whatever this announcement is that Claudio's going to make as far as where he's going to go. Taking his talents to him and Rex. So perfect. I think it's a fun little, gets Rex involved is kind of the big thing there. Yeah, we'll have that go after the flipping the table. Should be fun. Fun to see everybody kind of scramble back the table and have ready for the press conference. We'll see how the show does, though. The 75 for the opener. Spine splitter for Drew Gulak and Lee Moriarty there, getting the win over the House of Torture. They were the better team. So again, just another junior tag team of United Empire running roughshod over New Japan. Some things never change. Claudio and Rex Steiner beating Jarvis and Daniel Makabe. So yeah, obviously gave him the Steiner recliner. He has his military press, like, slam into the power slam gimmick that he does. I don't think I gave him the Steiner screwdriver. I really wanted to, though. But I think we're going to save that for something special. But yeah, I think those are the two finishes he's got right now. Maybe, I think he's got the Steiner Bulldog, too. Yeah, doing what, as far as Rick did, the top rope Bulldog. I think it's going to be fun. Because, like, him and Claudio, you could kind of have... you could literally recreate the Steiner's finisher with Claudio and Rex. So I think Claudio's big enough to do that. But as far as being the base of that. But yeah, that's a fun little match. Rex is getting better. He's still a little ways away, but he's getting there. Rushmore vs. Dark Order. Roddy pinning John Silver. They have Nelson backbreaker. It's fun 8-man, though. Nick Jackson being the best guy in the match is such a pop. But they had John Silver again being off his game as the worst guy in the match. Glad he took the loss there. 82 for the 10-man. Just glad nobody got fucking hurt. A Shingo with the last of the Dragon in 20 minutes. It's a great win for LIJ, and obviously building up to the Never Openweight 6-man tag team title matchup, which that match is going to be really, really good now. I was pretty excited about, as far as Nakamura, Hammerstone, and Kushida, but now, Jesus Christ, Hiromu, Sanada, and Naito, like, holy fuck. That's going to be crazy. 84 for Golden Ace versus Tyler Black and Malachi Black. As Tanahashi with the Dragon Suplex hold. I like that, says the High Fly Flow. But yeah, Bushi, Tyler Black, that match is going to be really, really fun. Going to be a fun co-main. That is for sure. Then Jason Lee losing to Jonathan Gresham. Jonathan Gresham makes him tap the Octopus Stretch. His first successful defense there of the Junior Heavyweight title. 93 for this tag match. Love it. As far as, I think if I had to do it again, I probably would have had Okan win. I think that would have made more sense than instead of having Zack beat him. But either way, though, it is an interference kind of finish. So there is that. So again, nonetheless, it's still not clean, as far as from that perspective. 86, though, for the Best Super Juniors finals, as Abe, wish it was with the Shining Wizard instead of the Figure 4. Ryu Lee did outperform him. So there's a case there for him as far as he, potentially should have won the Best Super Juniors. But I love that tournament as far as what we saw from Abe and Ryu Lee, their performances in the post-show press conference goes well, in the celebration angle. But they'll distraught Jason Lee, though, there, too. But doesn't want to take away from the moment. Well, Abe did. Tamura's post-show press conference. What the lack of press conference, where he just flips the goddamn table and takes the little background down, and he's just wrecking shit. Because nothing more satisfying than seeing just big motherfuckers destroying stuff. Just going Hulk smash mode on some stuff. Nothing like it. It's better than a promo sometimes for some guys. It's just, gets the point across without having to say a word. Good stuff there from Claudio and Rex Steiner. Their press conference does well. And yeah, and the United Empire ends out their press conference doing pretty solid. Besides Zack Sabre Jr. and Jonathan Gresham, not so much, but everybody else did well. A lot of guys. Obviously, United Empire getting a lot of the rub. But it's a phenomenal thing, really, that United Empire, how well that came together. And they have a chance to prove that they are the most dominant force in New Japan right now. If they have a great Dominion night, or New Japan will be taken back by the likes of Chaos, by the likes of Blast Off, and so on and so forth, and LIJ even, as far as if they, they get the Chaos match. That's the one as far as the one non-United Empire match, is that match. The rest are all United Empire matches, which you'll see the card in the next episode. But we will be putting over Fumino Arabe, we'll be putting over Ryu Lee, and we'll be putting over Hey Out of Tomorrow for losing like that. That makes sense. But very pleased with how that show ran. Sucks the tour was just riddled with injuries. But, we adapt, we work through it, and we made it. So that's all that matters. And on to Dominion we go for the next episode. We'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone.